Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's episode of The Long Voyage. We are a slightly amputated group today. We do hope that Gylfie's player will join us a little later. But just on the off chance that he doesn't, we have the remaining 3 people present, and on that note, I think we need a recap, Chris.
You are, and I'm going to be an absolute git about this because I can hear the rumblings of cutlery downstairs and know that my darling parents are going to have their loud shouting voices heard on the recording,
Right.
and I don't want that. So could I just this once ask you to handle the recap?
I'll try, but to be honest with you, I've had a bad week and can't remember much of what happened, so...
Well, okay. Well, why don't I get us started and see what we can manage?
Yeah, sure, I might pick up from that.
Okay. Last time on the Long Voyage, we set out on our epic quest to get to Eierborg, the main port of the Phalanx, as the opening acts of our war against them and their new Masters of the Sword of Strife on behalf of the Raven Lady. So, we had some role play where Sindri and Gylfie chatted while Gylfie continued to get drunk, proving that it's not that he wants to live freely, it's just that he's an alcoholic. And that he's apparently a sarcastic and unrepentant git, but you know that's been established well and truly by now.
I was about to say that cannot come as a surprise at this point.
No, I suppose it's. I mean, let's face it. In terms of role playing, it has been a very, very tidy and believable arc in watching this innocent, pure character become so jaded over the course of. But we set out. In the direction of Fjordborg, of our old home, which obviously been burnt to the ground, and we passed it by. We didn't go in because we thought too many painful memories, but we passed it by and talked about it. And then we started heading through the pass to head to the ribs of the Great Wolf, where we'd once travelled as
Actually, you found something first.
Oh, is that right?
You found a hole in the ground.
Yes, I was going to say, but before we got through to the actual ribs, we found something new had appeared, a small passageway that led down into a large cavernous, what would you call it? Well, basically,
an underground cave.
Basically a big underground cave, and we didn't go all the way in, but throw the old bones to see if it led the way we wanted to, and instead of getting an answer as to whether it was where we wanted to go directly, he was granted a vision of this great cavern, acting as a kind of docking area for the Fager Fair at some time in the, as far as we can tell, distant future. And he saw a vision of it being discovered by a pair of Southlanders, some kind of hunter and a battle maiden, and then finding that some of the crew of the Fager Fair that we knew was still there hundreds of years later, guarding it in an eternal unlife. So that was fun. But obviously that wasn't for us. We were shown it, but it wasn't anything that we could do with. So deciding that this meant that we couldn't use the passageway to get to where we wanted to go, we headed back out and went the long way around.
Yes.
And eventually we did get to the ribs of the Great Wolf and encountered an old friend, and that old friend's a significant other half in the form of a pair of very hungry, angry ice reavers, which we then did battle with, and miraculously, despite a few considerable cuts and scrapes and bruises, actually managed to kill them both. Ilva off one with a really, really solid mace blow, I believe it was actually the hammer blow at that point. And Sindri also killed the other one by using his mace to break its neck. So both of us have now earned have done something of greatly prestigious. Oh, sorry, I need to go at this point.
Yes,
I do apologize.
I'll pick up from there. So yeah, you killed the ice reavers and were set to continue onwards when more ice reavers turned up on the ledges overlooking the area where you had encountered Draugr last time you were here. And those Draugr they were still there, but they were in a few hundred pieces each. having been torn to pieces probably by the ice reavers. That at least would make some kind of sense considering the damage done to them. But the bones were certainly still there, and there were. You continued onwards, and as I recall, you managed to get to the place where all the trees were, where people had been hanged, or in some few cases had hanged themselves over the years. And I can't remember, but I think that's pretty. Oh no, that's true. You continued onwards from there, got through the pass on the other side, and got down to where you could see Ayaborg. It took a few more days, but you had shaved a considerable amount of time off the travel time by going through the pass in the mountains, and you got to eventually to where you could see Ayaborg, but you didn't go in just yet. You decided to wait until this week, or rather, I decided that we should wait until this week and finish the recording. So when we rejoin you, you can see the walls of Ayaborg up ahead, and that's about it really. So go ahead, take it away.
So are we still traveling, or have we settled in for?
I think you've basically just arrived to where you can see them.
And what time of day is it?
It's late afternoon.
Looks like that's our target.
We could camp out until nightfall. Less likely to see us scouting around if it's dark.
And we'd need a plan in any case.
Well, best I do some reconnaissance then.
Yes, but let's go with what Ilva said and wait until it's a little darker.
Yes.
Right, so you settle down and you wait until darkness falls.
Yes.
Doesn't take that much longer. Actually, that's a big fat lie, because obviously you came from Ting, which means that it's during the long, light evenings. So it does take a considerable amount of time before the sun sets.
It's probably worth looking at.
Sure, go ahead.
If we've got a good view of the port from where we are, Sindri will probably then do well to use some of that time making note of what he can see from this angle.
Yes, and what you can see is, as I think I described it last time, a classic Southlander style ring castle, much the same as what you had back in Hörborg, except obviously a lot smaller. Hörborg was enormous.
Not burnt down either.
Not burnt down either, at least not yet.
I'm about to say, at least yet.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really the thing, is that you have the walls in the way of actually being able to see much of anything, but you do see a couple of ships by the in the time that you're there, one coming and one going, and they're not the same ship. So clearly there is a port there, and it's built so that the walls enclosing this place cover the walls. Cover down to the water line, and consequently the harbor itself is protected behind the walls as well. It's likely, you know this from experience, that when Southlanders build like that, they would then have there's really only one approach into safe harbor, and everything around that would be protected with sharp wooden stakes under the water, typically tipped in metal, so as any ship that sails that tries to sail into harbor but doesn't follow the route that is safe would have the bottom torn out, basically.
Yeah.
So even though it looks unsafe and like half or a third of the wall is not there, it's still very adequately protected.
Okay.
But you can see a ship that leaves, and you can see a ship that arrives. From this distance, you can't tell, the route in and out, obviously.
Can we see if they have colours in the sails to identify who they belong to?
These are Phelan ships.
Okay, just Phelan ships. What about the landward entrance? Assuming there is one, do we see any examples of trade carts or anything coming and going?
Yep, there are two entrances on the landward side. You would assume that you could have carts coming and going. They're certainly large enough, but none arrive while you sit there and wait.
Okay, just making notes of that, so in case we need to go further back to them. So we're seeing ships coming and going, but no landward traffic. So it's get the impression that they're either quite remote out here or they're fortifying.
After you've waited for a while, you do see some people approaching. They're on horseback, and there's you count them as they approach. There are 20 of them, and these are clearly warriors. There's no question that these are fighting men. Approaching the fortress, and they're let in. When they arrive, you obviously can't hear what they're saying or anything from the distance that you're away, but they are let in any case. And they wore Phelan cloaks as well.
That's going to be interesting to try and deal with. Okay. So Sindri will definitely point this out to the others, that having that many warriors now inside the keep is going to be, even if we're stealthy about what we plan to do, it's going to be difficult once all hell breaks loose. If even for all our skill, four people against 20 is not good odds.
Well, we only need to burn down the ships and as much as possible.
I mean, it would be cool if you could take all of it, but the ships are the priority.
So we might not have to deal with them if we can avoid it.
Was I heard?
Yes, you were.
Okay. There was just no reaction to it. So for a moment, I got a little, did I press the right one?
Yes, you did. I think they were thinking.
We're all thinking. And it's dangerous.
Yes, it's very dangerous. Thinking leads to ideas. Horrible.
Ideas lead to problems.
There's a lovely irony in knowing that we're trying desperately to think while brain is absent.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, pray, come back. We're lost without you.
Well, he's probably fallen asleep, so, well, we'll see. Anyway, you don't see anyone coming or going after the warriors enter the fortifications. They did look like they were in one hell of a hurry.
That's not good. That means they must know that war is on the way.
Well, we should...
Then
maybe we should have tried to get in before they got there. Oh well.
if they know something is approaching, we'll have to strike before they can put up increased defenses.
Yep.
As soon as the sun goes down.
They might not know that we are the target, but we'd rather want most of their ships staying here. Is there a way to close off so they can't actually leave?
If I had different kinds of magic, I could, but I don't.
You see,
Alright.
after a while, and the sun is setting. It hasn't set yet. It's definitely getting there, though. The gates open again, and 2 groups of 5 leave the castle, or the keep, or the fortress, whatever you want to call it. It's a fortress. It's not a castle.
Are they the warriors we saw earlier? Or look like?
They are certainly fighting men, but if if they are the same men, you can't really tell.
Okay.
But they're not a horse. They are on foot, and it looks like it's 2 patrols.
Alright.
Where they were?
2 times 5.
Yes. Point
Okay,
is that
guys, you take those 2, I'll take the rest.
no. Best that we.
That was out of character and all in jest.
Fair enough.
They might
You
be
know,
out
mate,
scouting.
that's stupid.
Yes. Makes sense. You'd have evening patrols before the sun goes down completely. Have to see if we can. It's going to make scouting a little bit difficult, but we'll have to work with what we have.
See, Ilva has this skill she's never really used,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Yes.
think it might work if I get a lucky roll.
And what is that?
Tactics.
Sure. By all means.
As I
That's-
said, it's
that's-
very little use of it.
That's definitely a possibility. Yes.
I mean, if there's any way we're gonna get a hint in a very good way of dealing with this shit,
Mm-hmm.
it would be tactics, right?
I remember you rolled it once before.
What?
I remember you've rolled it once before, I think, but it didn't come out so well. So let's see if we can.
Once! It was not much of a thinker, which is why Shelby has a skill thingy of 11 in it.
That's still 50% chance.
Oh, great. Now it's down to a coin toss.
Pretty much.
Aww.
That was close.
Aww.
That was close, but no cigar.
Ooh.
Yes. Boo indeed. Boo his boo.
Given the time, I could scout out in a form better suited to see in the dark. But if I'm spotted, they'll probably want to hunt me down.
No shit. If you're running around as a direwolf, they'll be wondering what the hell you're out here for.
If they do spot you, try and if it's only one group, try and lead them back to us, and we might be able to take them out. It will be time. It will take some time before they become concerned at the loss of one of their patrols.
But we'll have to strike them before they become concerned, wouldn't we?
Exactly. It would force our hand, but it would mean that we only have to deal with one additional patrol, and then 10 people within the keep itself.
Right.
The problem being, if he leads them away, there is a big risk that 1 or 2 might run in and say there's something weird going on around out here.
There's a dire wolf. Might not think of it
They
even.
normally travel in packs.
Hmm. Pose.
And they will have heard of skin changers.
Pose.
I mean, this is not some exotic kind of coastline, even though it feels like it because we haven't been here in ages, but still.
But we could see if we can avoid the scouts for now, and then I can go scout once darkness falls completely.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to.
Is there a way of getting a little closer to the water front? It'll be nice to see the actual entrance of the ships.
We could try, but we should definitely be careful not to attract the attention of the scouts.
All right. I better get started then.
I wish I listened better when they talk tactics.
Anyway, so if I'm going to try and do a little bit of twilight scouting,
Yes.
Do we need to roll stealth, or what am I rolling?
Yes, you're definitely rolling stealth.
Okay. Let's see if I've got the low one. That's pretty good.
That's a good roll. Yeah, you sneak closer and you make use of the terrain to stay low and out of sight. And whenever there's a dell or a small hillock or something, you hide behind it or in it, and just basically you manage to stay out of sight very effectively. In fact, and you're pretty damn sure nobody has seen you, if for no other reason that nobody's raising the alarm. But you can see sentries up on the wall.
Okay.
And as the sun sets, you can also see that they have no. They're not so stupid as to have torches lit up on the walls tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, beat Dahmer.
So their night vision is preserved.
Yes, and they can't be spotted as easily, highlighted with torch fire.
Mm.
It is a moonlit night. It's not a full moon, but nearly.
Which is both which can go both ways. It means they can see us more easily, but might give us something of a.
Well, it also means you can see what you're doing more easily.
Yes. Okay.
You can see one of the patrols is returning.
Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that another one won't come in later. I'll come out later because might rotate the patrols. Okay, well I think. See, this is why I wish I had tactics, so I would know if it would be a good idea too. I think for the best set that I return and actually report what I've got, because there's no point scouting for the group if I'm not going to be returning to the group, is there?
No, I guess not.
I mean, it's not as if I'm going to be able to sneak in
On your
after them.
No, that would be impossible. They're being watched all the way in. Obviously, you can tell that that there's somebody on the gatehouse asking them, who they are when they arrive. Whether there is a password or something, you can't quite make out at this distance.
Okay, gatekeeper is checking people at the entrances. Gatekeeper.
There's it takes a little while from that, while you're still staying put in the same place, and then the gates open yet again, and another 5-man patrol comes out.
Yeah, I see. They've changed the rotation.
Well, we won't actually know unless the group leaves and goes back in.
Okay, how long has it been since? How long has it been since the last group went in and then this one's come out? Or how long were the first group out here?
You'd say probably about 200 breaths. So not that long.
Okay, so let's see. Patrol rotation lasts 200 breaths.
They're very vigilant.
They are. They're clearly expecting something.
On that note, I think while Sindri's out and about, Thordy will have given himself night sight, just to be sure, and then keep an eye out so that him and Ilva are not spotted.
Yep, give me a perception sight, please.
Yes, let's see if I can fail this.
I want to.
No,
You
Do it.
manage. You are lucky.
Yeah.
You spot the one of the patrols before they spot you.
Oh, well, we gotta move.
Okay.
Then we relocate so we're not spotted.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, but
You manage. You do in fact relocate safely. Nothing bad comes of it. They don't notice you before you get away. So yeah, good fortune for you.
Phew. That was closer than I liked.
that was bloody lucky.
Well, that's why we kept an eye out.
Still, I can't see shit, and I didn't trip. I'm surprised.
Well, I need another tactics roll from Ilva.
Yes. Cross all your digits.
Nope.
12
Exact
again.
zero.
Who didn't cross their digits?
Brain.
It was
Brain!
probably Brain
Come
Man.
back, we need you for tacticking.
Tic-tacking.
Well, does Sindri eventually return to us?
Yes, he does in fact.
Yes. And I relay all that I have learned. Hoping
Did
it
you
might
get
be useful.
to scout near the harbour?
I don't think I did, no, I just got to see the
No,
walls and sentries.
exactly. Yeah, you can't get that close without being spotted.
Yeah.
In order to see the harbor, you would have to get right up to the wall and actually stick your head around.
I think it might be our best point of entry, seeing as we can swim. It's not that cold, and it would bring us close to the ships, so we don't have to fight our way through the city.
We would have to leave a lot of our equipment behind.
That is
I
true.
mean, think about it. Sindri can't actually submerge his bow and everything in the water. And he will be spotted immediately if he tries to keep it over water.
Would it perhaps be useful if, while the rest of you did that, I attempted to create a distraction out landwards? You know, start a fire, get their attention, they'll send the patrols in that direction. It'll keep the sentries focused, and it will, hopefully, destroy their night vision.
With you caught in the middle of it?
I can get out of there quickly enough and avoid looking at my own fire starting.
It's at least a plan. Let's mull it over. What are the pros and cons of it?
Give me another sight roll.
All of us
All
are
of
just
us?
me.
All of you. Yep.
Get out of my bloody head! It happened yesterday too!
So is right on, is that do it or do it not?
Yes, right on is a success.
Yay.
Do it or do it
Yeah,
not!
well, look at that, both get right on.
Yes.
Yeah, but I wanna... I want my tactics to work, not my vision.
Well, yet again, you managed to spot one of the Phelan warriors before he sees you. This time you can't relocate easily. He's coming straight towards you.
He? There's only one?
Yep.
Is he wearing Phelan?
Phelan colors? Yes, he is.
Yes, but even if we did that, Sindri has said that they are checking people on the door.
I think it's mostly a matter of if we cannot avoid him, we'll have to kill him.
I mean, preferably quickly, without
Alright.
sound.
Alright, then we'll try and do that.
We shall
Stealthy
attempt an
stealth?
ambush.
You shall attempt an ambush. Okay. Everybody give me a stealth roll.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
What did you expect?
If
She
you don't
has
have
stealth,
it,
but she's a bloody clutch!
if you don't have the skill, it's Dex -5.
I have
Thank
a
you.
skill, but she's still a klutz.
Yes, she is.
Seeing as he doesn't have the skill,
Wow.
Fluty
Wow.
suggests that he just keeps standing there, and then you guys can ambush him when he approaches me.
Well,
But
Why
that
is
might make him
Citrus
shout.
the nice one?
here's
Sindri's.
here's the thing. While you suggest that to Sindri, he doesn't really seem to realize that he needs to duck, because that's a critical failure.
That's oh my dear. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's 2 6s out of 5.
Yes. So there is
shit.
definitely a Phelan who has just spotted you and who is now shouting for his comrades that he's found, that he has found the enemy.
Yeah, good thing Ilva isn't seen yet because she's gonna bludgeon his head in.
We. Damn it! This isn't Pathfinder. I can't bluff. Oh, please don't kill us, Cosmo. We are but weary travelers. No.
It's hard
yeah.
when you're wearing the cloak of someone they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's kill him.
We've got no choice.
Right. We need one of these thar things. One of the game, or the what are they called? One of the
Initiative?
here we go. One of these
Yes.
things.
Our speed?
Ah,
Speed
that's
is
it.
key! Our battle bucks.
Yes, your battle box indeed.
We've given it a wrong color.
Swish.
It needs to be red so the enemies can't see us bleed.
Yeah.
How are you both faster than me?
Yeah. What does it? How is it calculated?
Just
It's
go by.
basically your speed.
It's just
Health
your speed.
and dexterity. And guess who has a lot of health?
Oh, it's probably my health too then.
Yeah, I've not been. I've been putting a lot of points into maximum HP, but not into health.
My health's
I've
14.
put a little into...
Fucking hell! Where have you gotten all these points from? I've not been.
I have no skills whatsoever.
No, that's the thing. You've not been investing in skills, whereas Sindri has. All right.
I've been investing in magic and some basic stats. That's about it.
I've invested most
I
in...
cannot believe I critically failed that. What scale text are we using?
I use 22.
22. Fine.
I think that's what I used to. Yeah, this.
The hatred in my breast is real and muchly.
What? Why?
Just Sindri had to be so incredibly stupid as to not duck. Now we have to fight, and they know we're here, and everything, all our planning has gone to shit.
If it's any consolation, Frody
Massively failed his
do
as well.
this either. So
Yeah, I suppose.
I think it was because Ilva saw it first, ducked, and weren't quick enough to tell you others to do so too.
That
Mhm.
makes sense. That's as good an explanation as any.
Like, she saw him and then ducked in a freaking hurry, trying to... without being noisy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Just a split second before he saw everyone else.
indeed. So, we shall move from the top. Ilva, what shall want to do? He is at a slight distance to you. You won't be able to reach him in the first round, but you can get closer.
You also do have a bow thing, I think. Or did you get rid of the bow thing? Did you get rid of your bow and arrows last time? I can't remember.
Yes, I gave you all my arrows.
Oh yeah, of course. That was just silly.
But that doesn't matter anything because I'm still out of touch, so I can get closer.
Yes,
She's the only one who wasn't spotted.
yes. So you can
That is
move,
very true.
You can move closer, but if you want to get closer, basically you have to get up from where you're hiding and move closer. Not that that's a big issue really, because the fighting has begun.
You know, fuck it. How far out can... never mind.
You
He
can.
just gets closer.
Yes.
I mean- Okay.
You move closer. Okay. When you do so, you realize that he is in fact not alone. Because as you get closer to him, you realize there is a slight sink in the landscape. He's been walking up an escarpment up towards the top of it to scout and to see what was there. Now that you're getting closer, you can see down on the other side, and you can see 4 more of them.
Right, time to smash.
Smash. I'm just gonna enter the others. They're not gonna be involved in the first round of combat, but I might as well just,
Get it over with.
yeah, I might as well just write them in so that they're there.
Yeah. I was about to say, should we find out which of the 6s?
They're simultaneous.
Okay.
There's no deal breaker. It's simultaneous.
I see.
That's a quick one.
And you get closer to him, Frothy. What do you want to do?
Draw my weapon and get closer as well. I need to save my magical energies for, lighting everything on fire.
Yes, that's actually a pretty good point. So you draw your weapon and you try to get closer as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, you did learn something last time, namely that chopping instead of stabbing is a valid way of doing things.
Yes, I should have had Hila calculate which is more efficient, but I haven't had the time for that.
So here we go. And then, yeah, you can get closer as well, but not close enough. Sindri,
Yes.
what you doing? And
Cursing the Lord of Laughter and all that he stands for.
and quite apart from that, what are you doing otherwise?
I'd like to shoot at something.
Good. Then that's what you do, because that's what he does as well.
But damn him anyway.
Well,
Yes.
he wants to shoot at something. The man shoots at you, and you end up shooting at something else because I want to shoot at something.
I think that hits.
That does hit. Let's see if he hits you. I mean,
What-
obviously, you're the
It won't
one. Sorry. What?
If it weren't for that 6, it would have been a critical.
The point here is he's shooting at you as well because you are the one that he saw.
Yeah, of course.
Now he realizes that there are more people, but his initial reaction is to shoot at the person he's seen.
Yes,
Obviously,
of course.
it is
Of
in the
course.
first round. It's just like, hey,
Oh,
That's fine.
that's
that is a crit.
only 4 and 5 is a crit. 6 is only a crit if
Okay.
he's got 16 skill, and he doesn't. So you avoid a crit with at the skin of your teeth, but he does hit you.
For 6 damage. Good point.
No,
No.
that's what he
He
hits
has to
you.
roll damage.
Yeah, I haven't rolled damage. That's what he hits you with.
Oh, right. So my thing didn't update at first. Jesus Christ. Oh, we were so close. We could have
He
both
does
had.
8 points of damage, and that's impaling. So, how much is your armor against impaling? You just got better armor, so I think it's 4, isn't it?
That's the one with the asterisk next to it, yes?
Yes.
Then, yes.
4.
It's 4.
Okay, then 4 points go through, which is then not doubled, but increased by half. So you take 6 points of damage.
God's sake.
Dunk.
Ow. I need to roll my damage.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Uh,
Give him some damage back.
Some.
1-1-1. That's
Fuck
very
you!
close. Sorry, I didn't actually think it would happen.
And I'm gonna keep a score of their health. Probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
wounds go through because he's wearing the same kind of armor that you used to wear.
Yes, standard Southland.
Ours
Standard
is
Southland armor.
prettier,
Still.
and it hasn't been sullied by Finland people.
Mm-hmm. No, but the point is that it means that it only takes 3 points of impaling off.
Yes, it does. And then we are up to a new round. And there is...
Good.
What, sorry?
Good joy.
Yes. Which means that one of their guys acts first. He is a huge specimen, even for a Southlander. He is tall, he's broad, and he's carrying an enormous axe, a long axe.
Oh, goodness me.
And he spots a battle maiden, whom he goes directly for.
And
Mhm.
she went for the first man and then like, huh? Oh, there's others here too.
Yep. So he charges you, and that gives him a penalty of 2 to hit you, obviously, because charging in this system does not actually improve your chances of hitting anything. So let's see if he can hit you. He can't, but only because of the -2.
Oh my, he's good at what he does then.
He
I think she jumps at the side at the last point.
Yeah, basically, and you can hear the swoosh of the axe in the air. He is a match for you. There's no question of that.
Hmm. I'm just imagining one of the raider from For Honor, but with some actual armor.
Yes. Then Ilva, it is your turn.
I'm gonna moida him.
Where have
Moida
you-
him.
Where have you been, Brain?
I do repeat myself that naps are evil.
Yes,
We-
you need an alarm clock, but we
we-
forgive you.
That
We
is
kind
exactly
of
what I
imagine that
figured.
that's what happened. Yeah. There you go. You hit him. Let's see if he can then parry. He can parry.
Oh.
Hurry up!
So he gets the axe up in time, and turns your blow away with the handle, basically. And then it is Frothy.
Yes, well, I'm guessing the archer is not currently also wielding a melee weapon, so let's try and slash at him.
Absolutely correct.
Come back. And then it's swinging for once.
Yes.
Right on.
We need to get Gylfi in here because obviously he has been here all along. So we need you to add yourself to the initiative.
On it.
I deal him 6 points of cutting damage.
6 points of cutting damage. All right, and that is, he's already been wounded, obviously. So there we go. There we go. It's not a massive hit, but you do draw blood.
Don't expect a massive hit from Frody.
No,
ever.
no, exactly. I mean, you could have rolled, you could have rolled 12. That would have
True.
been, that would have been a pretty bad hit. Let's see. That was Frothy. Then it is the Phelan. Well, he's suddenly got his, himself a face full of enemy. So he drops his bow and just basically lets it fall to the ground, and draws a small hand axe instead, and his shield, which he's got on his back, reaches for those. That's his turn, because and then it is Sindri.
Yes, Sindri has no such intentions of dropping his bow.
No, but he's also still at a safe distance.
Exactly. So let's try this again, only slightly less stupid, and hope that we get to what happens.
Wham! That's a hit. And you're shooting at who exactly?
The same goes before.
Well, he's now in close. He is now in close combat.
Okay.
He's just been attacked, but I mean, you hit him. That's fine. You hit him, and it doesn't hit. But you should know that shooting into close combat runs the risk of hitting your friends. That is.
What is with my damage roll?
I don't know, but that actually doesn't go through.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Let's see. Then it's the people coming up over the hill, and they're all armed with the same kind of small axe that this guy, the first guy, was using. Apparently, this is something their warband is using. And let's see. Number 2 goes for. Number 2 runs towards Sindri, because he can't reach you this round, but he is definitely reaching you next round. Number 3 goes for Frothy.
Rude.
Yes. So let's see if he can hit you.
Don't.
He can't, because he charges as well, and consequently that is a miss.
Woo.
Then it's number 4 who goes for Ilva as well. And yeah, that is, let's see if he can hit anything. He can. He hits. Let's do some damage.
To the point where you can parry more than once thing when it's the Phalanx turn again, or is it just once per round?
It's once per round.
Well, then I'm gonna do it now,
Yeah, of course.
because the big guy is the first one in next round.
Yeah, absolutely. You actually parry. That's
Boink.
excellent. Doing. You managed to turn that blow aside, just like your blow was turned a moment ago. That's good for you. And let's see. Then it is back to the first guy. No, it's Gilfie. We just got a Gilfie arrived. So yes, what do you want to do?
Oh, don't worry, I'm here. Well, Gilfy first looks at the situation to see what the hell is happening.
Basically, just so to bring you up to speed, what they did was they arrived at the target, where they need to be. They scouted the place slightly and realized that there were patrols being sent out. They saw a group of 20 warriors arrive, and now patrols of 5 are being sent out on a rotation to basically guard the surrounding areas or look for something or whatever. But apparently, or not apparently, but the problem was that one of these groups got too close. They managed to avoid the first group. The second group, however, they didn't manage to hide in time and got spotted, and that's why we're now in a fight.
Nope.
So what you want to do?
How are we looking at distribution of enemies?
One is currently running towards Sindri. Otherwise, there are 2 on Frothy and 2 on Ilva.
Okay.
Huge guy and normal guy on Ilva.
Yes, there is a massive mountain of a man on just to stay with the alliteration here, who's fighting Ilva, wielding a big 2-handed axe.
To be fair, weren't that the same thing the others were wielding too?
No, they're wielding smaller 1-handed axes.
Sissy weapon.
Think, well, Gilfy will try to shoot the one of the big guy.
Okay, you're going to shoot for the big guy.
Yeah,
Let's hope you hit, because he's in close combat.
yeah, shoot for the star.
You shoot Ilva. She's not going to forgive you.
Did they hit? Yay!
Yay, you do it. Doink,
Yes.
do some damage.
Oh,
Ooh, nice roll. And that goes in and does a decent amount of damage to him, actually.
He's stupid
Keep
not to
impaling.
wear actual armor.
So, no, he's wearing armor, but it's the same kind of roll as what happened earlier. It's an impaling damage, and he subtracts only 3. So,
Like that.
yes, which means that he's got 5 points going through, and then you increase that by half, which is another 2.5 on top of it, and you always round off, not down. So he takes 8 points of damage from that. He actually
I
takes 8
so
points.
want to roll an actual damage roll on him. Because 5d6 plus 1.
Mm-hmm. And he takes the arrow to it goes into his hip, and clearly hurts, and he growls obviously, but still fighting. Yes, his hip.
I knew Gilfie was good at hip shooting.
Ha 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 ha. And then it is his turn.
Now slightly pinned.
He tries to hit Ilva again, because obviously he does.
I don't understand.
He hits.
Damn it.
You want to parry?
Aww.
You don't parry. Okay.
Good thing I have hard to kill.
That was a pathetically shitty roll on my behalf. So you
At least it's cutting and not impaling.
it's cutting. That was a really bad roll. But
So I take 6 off.
yes, you do. You're wearing better armor as well, aren't you?
Yeah,
So
it's 1 higher, so instead of 3-5, it's 4-6.
that means you only take. Oh yeah, you take 6 off the damage. Yes, obviously, yes. Duh, I thought you meant take 6 hit points off.
No, I take 5.
Yes, indeed. Well, he does hit you. It's now your turn to try to hit him. Or the other guy, if
Yes.
you want.
Nah. So far, he's just a little bean sprout. It's probably best to take the big idiot off first. I mean, getting hit by him more than once where he doesn't roll that ridiculous low amount of damage is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna smoosh you.
You do hit him. Let's see if he can parry. He can't do damage.
That's how you do impaling damage.
That is how you
Asshole.
do impaling damage, and he is, despite being a huge tough man, he is already wounded. So the spike of your warhammer goes into his chest, tears out his sternum, and basically rips out most of his stomach, and he dies badly.
Then she looks at the other failure. Your turn, Pipsqueak.
And let's see. Then it is that they look somewhat shocked that their biggest man went down that quickly.
By a woman!
That,
No, that's not that big a deal.
for them it is. They
Yeah,
don't. You know,
it's only the Raven Lady who has battle maidens.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm
Well,
sure
they were under her rule until recently, so they know how badass the battle maidens can be, obviously. But they're still shocked that he goes down like that. That means it is Frothy's turn.
Well, I have an archer to finish.
Yes, you do in fact have an archer to finish.
Go, Frothy!
I'm still tempted to try impaling, just because the armor is so tough. And on average I roll 7.
Yep, go ahead.
On a slashing, that is. Oh, that was impaling.
Yep.
Let's see. Does he want to parry?
Yes, he will try to parry it. And he does.
No. Oh, I should roll damage still for his... No, that's only if he blocks.
That's if he blocks with the shield, yes.
Alright.
let's see. Then it is Phelan number 1, who is still facing you. That's in fact the guy that you just tried to hit. Let's see what he can do in return. He can hit you. You want to try and parry or block or something?
I want to block it.
Yep, sure. Yes, you block it. Let's see how much damage he does to you. Wow!
That does not go through the damage reduction of the shield.
No, it's a glancing
Oh,
blow.
wow.
Oh my god, that is pathetic.
Yep, so it's like, oh, and then
I get you!
that's only succeeded in
Oh,
making
that
his
is-
wrist.
That is
Yep.
so
He-
funny.
He made a tiny scratch in the shield.
Yes.
Yep,
he
what?
did.
In fact, he's probably done more damage to himself by making his wrist ache with the reverberation.
Yes. Sindri, your turn. You have a guy coming at you directly.
Yep. Well, I
Shoot
wanted.
it in the eye.
No, because every time I do that, they then get up to me without being dead and do damage to me. So I'm going to swap out from my. I'm going to preemptively swap my bow for my mace and my somewhat battered shield.
Yes. So you're prepared for when he gets there, basically.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd rather actually face up to. Yeah. Every single time I've
Yep,
tried shooting at them when they get to me, I end up getting nearly killed. So.
Yeah, it's definitely you're doing the smart thing here, no question about it. And it is in fact now his turn.
Good.
He hits.
Block it.
I could like to block it.
Okay.
My character sheet would load. That would be lovely. Thank you.
Yes, you block. Outstanding. Let's see how much damage he does to your shield. 9. Remember to subtract the shield's damage reduction first.
That's 7 point.
So that's he takes 2 points off it then.
The damage
Damage
reduction is how much on your shield?
7.
It's yeah, sure.
Okay. It's a good shield.
It is a good shield, definitely.
Okay,
so it
so-
takes 2 points.
Give me a second. Yeah, damage reduction is 7 on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's excellent. I just
Okay.
didn't hear. That's all. So, that was him. Then it's one of the guys facing Frothy.
No.
Yes, he hits, and you already.
And I
lost.
can't block.
Correct.
Can I parry?
Nope, you've already used your reaction.
I figured.
9 points.
Okay.
That's the
Let's
second
see.
6-2 roll.
And that's still cutting. So
It's-
so at
it's-
least
it's
a
cutting,
good thing
yes.
to have
You have
Have
you have considerably better armor, so you only take 3 points of damage.
Yes, exactly. Let's just note that down. Noted.
Yes. Then they seem to realize that your armor is very, very good, because not much is happening,
we have some big shits with lion fur.
which they don't know what is, but yeah. And then it's the last one standing over by Ilva, and he hits. Because now
Well,
he's
I've already used my reaction on the big
Yep,
villain.
and he's no longer charging, so that's why he actually hits on that.
Hitting 12 too much for my life.
Ugh. My damage
Yeah.
rolls are utterly pathetic.
That's actually not even enough to
No.
go through the armor.
No, it isn't.
I
It's
guess just jumping back and he grazes the armor.
yeah, something like that. It is so bad. I roll so horrifically bad on my damage.
You keep saying that like it's somehow a bad thing.
It's not a contest as such, but it's, at the same time it should be at least be a challenge. First, then that was him. Then it is Goofy.
Okay, so now there is the one fight was reduced to 1v1, so Gilf will try to shoot into another 2v1 fight,
Okay.
and with one of the Phalans that's fighting Frody. Well,
The
he
one
will
who's
try to aim.
there's one
yeah.
who's already wounded and one who isn't.
Yeah, he will aim for the wounded one.
Okay.
And he aims this time.
Good, good. So you add your accuracy rating to your Ooh, that's a crit.
Thank
Yes.
you.
That is excellent. What is your max?
Ka-choo.
What is your max damage?
It's 1d6 plus 3, so
That's
it's
9 points of
9.
damage. Yeah, you do 9 points of damage to the man. Outstanding. It's faster to use the simplified critical system actually, so that's what I'm doing. You're doing, let's see, 9 points to him, and he subtracts a little bit of his armor, obviously. Ouch! Holy shit! Okay, this guy is shot, basically, Frode, what you see is this guy who's already been wounded by, both by you and by a previous arrow, and he's basically just about to raise his sword and chop at you, or not his sword, sorry, his axe, and chop down at you, right?
Mhm.
And suddenly there is an arrow sticking into the underneath his arm, in his, right where his arm meets his shoulder, his underarm. Yes, his armpit. Thank you. That was the one I was looking for. Into his armpit, and he just doesn't say anything because the arrow goes in quite deep. So he just coughs and blood spurts from his lips, and he falls down.
Ha. Then I can turn my attention to someone else.
Yes, you can. There's still one guy facing you, obviously. And let me just get the people who are already dead here. Let me just get rid of them, because there's no point in still having them in the turn order. So there we go. That was goofy.
If we I suggest we take a break now.
Actually,
while we
that's a
get
very
double
good
turn.
point. Yes, let's take a break before we start the next round. So please don't go anywhere. We are going to be right back with more The Long Voyage.